Hi folks, so here is a little work for those of you who want to have a lesson in English, history class in English language. So we have worked last time on this little caricature here. It is quite famous. It represents one of the major episodes of the Cold War. You have here two presidents, the president of the USSR, which is called Khrushchev, and next to him, the president of the United States of America, the USA, which is called Kennedy. He's also known under the name JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Both of them are seated next to a table and they are arm wrestling. The thing is, they are not seated on chairs, but they are seated on bombs. These are atomic bombs. Here you have the letter H, same here, which means hydrogen. These are atomic bombs made around the processes of hydrogen. It is one kind of the atomic bomb. And here you have labeled the USA, and here we can't read it very well, but it should be written USSR. Both of them are arm wrestling, and here you can see that Kennedy and also Khrushchev, both of them have their finger quite near to push on a button, and this button is linked by a wire to the atomic bomb. We can see that actually Khrushchev is seated on an USA bomb and Kennedy is seated on an USSR bomb, which means that if Khrushchev pushes his button, he will make Kennedy explode. But in the same time, Kennedy will have time to press him too on his button, and Khrushchev could also be vanished in the air by the atomic bomb. This is quite significant of the Cold War, where you have the idea of mutual assured destruction, which means that if one moves, the other one will also move, and by this both of them are to die. Here you have the date October 1962, and it is one episode of the Cold War which is quite famous. It is the Cuba crisis. The Cuba crisis, we change map here to understand a little bit more this question. Cuba is an island which is located here, and the thing is, in 1959 we have a new president in Cuba, which is called Fidel Castro, and this president is linked to communism, which means that here you have the Eastern Bloc, led by USSR, and Cuba, which is quite near to the United States of America. This little island here becomes a red part of the world, a communist part of the world. And here, where everything is blue, which means it belongs to the Western Bloc of the Cold War, you have one single island which comes to be friend with USSR. So, what is the idea of USSR? Well, we have military bases all over our land, our bloc. Why not try to put some missile sites in Cuba very, very near to the United States of America? And that is what happens in 1962. Let's have a zoom here. So you find Cuba here, the United States of America here, and the idea for USSR is to bring to Cuba missiles, Soviet missiles, which have a range. Here it calls the range. What we call a range means the distance a missile can go up to. If I throw a missile from here, where can he go at most? So you have two range. You have the medium range and you have the intermediate range. And you can see that the capital, Washington, D.C., the main economic city, New York, and nearly all the main cities of the United States of America are all in the range of either the intermediate range ballistic missiles or the medium range ballistic missiles. And both of them are here in Cuba. Well, they are not yet here because USSR want to bring them to Cuba, but the United States of America put all his ships around Cuba to make what we call in English a blockade. The idea is to block any ship from USSR to be able to go to Cuba and bring these missiles on the island. It is a great moment of tension of the Cold War in 1962. The next thing I'm going to show you is this picture, which comes from a movie, which is the X-Men, and here the scene is quite inspired by the Cuba crisis. You have here an island where there is Magneto here with his people, which are in great tension, and over there you have either, I don't know which one is which, you have here probably the USSR boats, and here probably the USA boats. We are under the Cuba crisis, so this should be Cuba, and here you've got the USA blockade, and next to them the USSR boats, which are coming to put their atomic missiles on the island. But then both of them go to try to destroy the X-Men by sending all their weapons into the island. And if you know the story, the movie, you know how it ends. I don't think I can put the movie. It won't be legal. And the last thing I'm going to show you is a little video of a movie in the United States during the 50s or the 60s about how we tend to protect the population from a missile attack. It's called Duck and Cover, and it is by this means on the television that we're trying to protect the population, giving them good habits to do if they are attacked by a missile bomb. It's quite funny actually. I'll let you see that now.
Deedle-dum-dum, deedle-dum-dum, deedle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and cover, ducked and cover.
He did what we all must learn to do.
You and you
And you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover.
This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association.
Paul and Patty know this. No matter where they go or what they do,
They always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do. Duck and cover. First, you duck. And then, you cover. You duck and cover tight. Duck and cover under the table. It's a bomb. Duck and cover.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
And you
and you and you.
duck and cover.